So for me, working out loud is taking our work in progress and sharing it in a purposeful way with a relevant community and enabling that community to learn from the way you work and also to contribute and collaborate in making that work more effective.
And Gerald?
What he said. No, I think for me, my experience of working out loud has been that really it's about asking for help in a purposeful way on something that you're really not sure of the way forward on, and using the power of collaboration to really amplify and accelerate the outcomes that you want to receive from it.
There are many, many ways you can work out loud. The idea is just to be public, so that can be as simple as some people put posters up around their desk, or whiteboards, visual management boards, ways of sharing, shouting out loud to a community, all the way through to the other end where people are using enterprise social networks or even public social media like Twitter, LinkedIn and so on to share their work as it's progressing and invite a community, just as Nick said, to form around that work and engage those people.
So it's not necessarily a digital concept?
No, not at all. In fact, it connects back to a number of practices in management that have been around for hundreds of years before, things like going to Gemba and the lean approach and walking the floor and seeing the work happening. There's a whole bunch of related ideas.
I think from what I've seen in organisations, it is still a concentrated pocket that you will see working out loud practices in. I don't know that there are necessarily, there are cultural attributes of organisations that lend itself to it, and certainly those companies that are really looking at diversity understand the importance of engaging with all of the generations in the organisation. That are starting to embrace more of the fail fast, the lean startup cultures in organisations where, it's really, for me, a lot of it comes down to risk. How comfortable are you with personal and professional risk in your organisational culture?
And the technology is not a silver bullet. So I read somewhere that technology doesn't collaborate, people do. So at the end of the day, we can have the best technology with all the functionality to allow you to collaborate and share. But fundamentally, if the systems and processes and the culture of the organisation doesn't make you feel safe enough to be able to speak up and share half-finished work, and to be able to respectfully put your views, up and down the hierarchy across the organisation, then that's a challenge.
Mostly it's about energy more than it is anything else, and a general level of interest. And there's probably a little bit of stick as well, because we want to make sure that it's representative of the organisation. But we're certainly seeing kind of communities and sub-communities growing inside places like Max Connect. One of the things that I talk about that I got value out of the process that I went through is that I personally then got recognised as a person that had a view about a particular topic that then got included in a whole bunch of other conversations and connections that weren't related to me because they were self-forming somewhere else, and I was a kind of outlier that got pulled in as a result of kind of being involved in the conversation. And so you can see that happening. I guess my fear is that, in a weird way, it seems unusual to talk about working out loud, because if you're into it, then you are, and you don't understand anyone that isn't. But you need to recognise that there's a whole bunch of people that don't operate that way. And so I guess my nervousness about saying, well, this is just how we identify great teams and that's how we're going to define how we operate going forward, is that it isn't 100% of the organisation yet. So we've still got a job to do to make sure that we can be as inclusive as possible.